We know that millions of Americans enjoy buying lottery tickets. There are an unfortunate few who are addicted and problem gamblers. In this video, we're going to discuss the average spending on the lottery and what would happen if somebody, instead of buying lottery tickets, chose to invest that money. How much would they have at retirement? And my contention is the easiest way to get rich with the lottery is not to play the lottery. It is to invest it instead. We're going to see that as this video goes on. My name's Matt Rosu. I'm Dean of the Sigmund Wise School of Business at Susquehanna University. I'm also a professor of economics here. I like making economics content fun and relatable, often using pop culture. And if you enjoy this type of content, please click like and subscribe. It will help me out. It'll help out the channel. So, the lottery. We have to look into some numbers here to figure out exactly how much that an individual could have if they invest this. And so let's look at some data. And we'll look at my home state of Pennsylvania as a little bit of a guide. So the Pennsylvania lottery estimates $5 billion in revenue annually. So $5 billion in lottery tickets sold per year. Now, you can't play the lottery unless you're an adult, and there are about 9.4 million adults in Pennsylvania. But we also know about half of people never play the lottery. So let's say it's 4.7 million that play the lottery, that account for that $5 billion in sales. Well, $5 billion in sales divided by 4.7 million people means the average person who plays the lottery spends $1,063 annually on the lottery, which to me is a pretty staggering sum. Averages, what, 20 bucks a week, basically, approximately. Now, that's not, though, the full amount that the person would capture if they invested, because the lottery does pay back. Now, the state-by-state payback rate can differ pretty dramatically. Pennsylvania pays back about 2/3 of their winnings to individuals in payouts, which means the average person who spends, as we said, $1,063 is what we came up with, would end up losing on average about $355 per year. This is the expected value. Now, the median loss, most years, the individuals will lose more, and more individuals will lose well more than the $355, because that $355 loss annually on average, there are some individuals who will buy a $20 scratch-off each week and end up hitting, $100,000 prize or bigger, right? And those individuals who end up hitting that, of course, they've gained. Most people aren't going to get back 65 to 70% of their lottery winnings on any given year. But we'll go with the number 355, because if you're playing it consistently, we're just going to go with the expected value. So, what happens if an individual invests? Depends on what the individual invests in and what rate of interest they end up earning based on their investment choice. But over the past 50 years, the S&P 500 has had an average return after inflation, so we can use today's dollars, of 6.33% when an individual is investing and then reinvesting their dividends into the S&P 500. So if somebody, starting at age 18, when you can legally play the lottery, if instead of putting away their money towards the lottery, which on average they lose $355 per year, put that $355 annually in an investment fund in the S&P 500. Now, we don't know what the rates will be in the future, but let's go with what it has been, right? And this is where financial advisors are giving the advice, like past performance does not necessarily indicate what future returns will be, and that's absolutely true. But take somebody who started many, many years ago. This is what they've earned. in S&P 500 with dividend reinvestment. So 6.33% starting at age 18, going through to age 65. How much money will they have? Well, by age 65, that individual will have over $100,000. According to some rough calculations, I come up with a little over $101,000. And by the time the individual hits 60, the interest they're receiving is multiple thousands of dollars, right? And you remember, they're putting in $365 a year. Putting in $365 a year, by the time you hit age 60, you're receiving interest income of many thousands of dollars every single year. That's pretty amazing, right? $100,000 to spread over a retirement isn't a huge amount. But remember, we're talking about $365 invested. That's $1 a day, essentially. And it's the amount the average lottery player in the state of Pennsylvania basically pays to the Pennsylvania government in order to play the lottery. If instead an individual would put that amount of money, $355 away, it'd be over $100,000. Now, if they put in the full amount spending on the lottery that we talked about, which was the $1,060-some dollars, of course, we triple this amount. That's $300,000. And if you have a couple, a married couple, and they both do this, now we're talking a $600,000 retirement nest egg by age 65. This is starting to get pretty impressive and something that could really put a pretty big supplement to Social Security and any other income source, to have over $500,000. That's a pretty big deal. And I don't know what the right answer is, but I think a big point of this is just to inform individuals that if you're thinking about the lottery as a way to get rich, the better way to get rich might be to not play the lottery. Even if it's not a lot, put that money into investments, save it over time. We don't know what future rates will be. Could very well be less than 6% per year, but you could do some analysis. If it's 5 or 4% per year, it still turns into a lot of money by age 60, by age 65, even these small amounts every single year. Once again, my name's Matt Rosu. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, subscribing, clicking like will be helpful. Appreciate a comment. Do you think any of the assumptions I made on interest rates, on the amount that the Pennsylvania lottery costs individuals, how well do you think that really makes sense? Go ahead and comment. Appreciate hearing your thoughts. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.